On Thursday, September 23rd, the Bau Xi Gallery on Granville Street was packed for the launch of Lisa Birnie's newly published book, In Mania's Memory. It's the story of a little girl in Poland during World War II, whose life was saved by a sympathetic female Nazi guard, and her belief that years later in Toronto, the housekeeper who came to work for her was that same guard. Although the woman denies it, Mania is convinced that this is the woman who saved her. Birnie's book tells both women's parallel stories and culminates in a meeting between the two at the concentration camp where Mania says that they crossed paths, and where it is hoped that more than 50 years later the truth may finally be revealed.
Our own experience with the Holocaust has taught us that evil must be recognized and that we have a responsibility to ensure that it never happens again to anyone.
So this book is about essentially two women and the madness of war. And it's also about what Martin Luther King called, it's not only about the evil that bad men do, it's about the silence that good men do. The next morning, after roll count, a woman guard appeared before me and ordered me into her office. Trembling, I followed the uniformed figure into a small window-leading entrance to my block. The guard seated herself behind a makeshift desk, and although I dared not look fully into her face, I saw her for the first time. She was blonde, blue-eyed, and beautiful. I was sick with fear. She asked me if I spoke German, and I said yes. She then asked me my name, and I told her. I trembled when she said crisply, I don't think it's Mania. I think it's Marie. What is your name again? Is it Marie? I was extremely frightened, so I just kept nodding. Are you a Jew? Yes. Would they hang me now? This beautiful Nazi shook her head. No, you're not a Jew. Say you're not a Jew. She stared at me for a long time and then became very businesslike and said something like, you're going to work and it's very cold early in the morning. You'll need a hat and gloves and some socks. She turned away and took some things from a box. Take these, they'll help keep you warm. I was too confused to speak. I thought she was going to order me hang, but instead she was being kind. I was stupefied. She was a Nazi. Was it a trick? And so began a relationship that was to save my life.
In Mania's Memory is published by Simply Read Books and is now available in bookstores throughout the Lower Mainland.